in by viewers. And this is probably the most dramatic shot that we have. Two workers roping down a rooftop to get away from federal agents. And we also obtained more footage showing two people being escorted by law enforcement. This $137 million project is publicly funded, meaning taxpayer money is paying for this. In all, 37 people were arrested today. And in addition to federal agents, Orange Beach PD, Gulf Shores PD, Foley PD, and the Baldwin County Sheriff's Office took part in the operation.
Hey folks, Dale Jackson here for Yellow Hammer Now, and there are a lot of issues we need to discuss when it comes to immigration and what exactly it means to the great state of Alabama and beyond. Now, the story about that immigration raid in Gulf Shores, where you had 30-something people arrested at a high school construction site where they had already had a building collapse, is raising some questions. But before we get into that, let's talk about the raid. Okay, the raid, you just saw someone rappelling down a roof in order to get away from immigration agents. Well, that's dangerous. And there was a death in California for a very similar reason when ICE showed up.
Now to the latest in the case of the farm worker who was critically injured during the immigration raid in Camarillo this week. Late today, Jaime Alanis Garcia's family confirmed to Eyewitness News that he has passed away in the hospital. They believe he was fleeing federal agents when he fell 30 feet off a building, suffering a broken neck and skull. But Homeland Security says he was not being chased when he fell. In a statement, his family wrote, Jaime was not just a farm worker, he was a provider and a human being who deserved dignity. His death is not an isolated tragedy.
Now, I mentioned this first because that raid could have went a lot worse than it actually did. And all this chaos that the media and their Democrats are creating about masked up guys disappearing people on the streets. Where are they going? Who's taking them? All of this is false garbage, and it is going to lead to more people getting hurt. People are throwing rocks at cops. People are running from the cops. People are rappelling down roofs and jumping off, hurting themselves, killing themselves, and it is crazy. Now, the answer isn't to stop the raids. It's to stop the lying. But that's another story. I want to focus here for a second on the construction of that high school and what an issue that is becoming, because we all know, yeah, they use E-Verify, but they also know their way around it.
We often find with major construction projects that while a general contractor is responsible for the oversight of the totality of the project, they often bring in many subcontractors in order to complete the work. So we do find that large corporations often do attempt to follow the rules and utilize E-Verify as a tool to ensure their own employees and workforce are legal. But then they bring in subcontractors that don't follow those same standards and knowingly employ illegal aliens.
Now, the quality of work being done here may not be up to snuff because, like I said before, this was a high school where they were building a practice facility and it collapsed in the middle of construction. There's a real reason to question that if bringing in people that are skirting the laws on verification of employment status might be skirting the laws and rules on building regulations. That is a real concern, and people need to worry about that. But are they taking it seriously?
And this was the scene at the construction site back in January. The athletic facility collapsed. Thankfully, nobody was hurt, but it's still unclear why or how this happened. And with both of these things in mind, federal agents are now questioning the safety of this building.
And that raises the very safety questions that we all probably are asking ourselves right now of what is the standard that is being applied by these individuals, many of whom who do not speak our language and do not have the necessary skills and certifications that we would expect, especially in such an important building where our children are going to grow up.
So are they taking it seriously? The mayor of the city says, oh, this is no concern. We're good. We got nothing to worry about here. But how can he even say that with a straight face when they've already had some issues? The real story here is we are bringing people into this country not knowing who they are, what their skills are, and putting them to work in projects where, yes, kids will go and live and work and play, and this could impact their safety. Dismissing it, as the mayor does, I don't think makes any sense.
36 total undocumented immigrants arrested on this construction site. 20 had criminal backgrounds. Mayor Kraft says despite the raid, he's still confident in the general contractor who is overseeing this project, Rayburn General Contractors.
I hire the right people to do the right thing, and we've done that, and we've got a high degree of confidence that the school has been built appropriately.
The American people see how this all cascades. Now, there's the safety issue, which is obvious. There's the political elites issue that just want things done cheaper, get it done now, I don't care how it happens. There is another issue about taking people who are qualified and replacing them with quasi-slave labor, and then you're getting an inferior product while putting someone else out of work. All of this rolls into the same issue, rolling crime as well, and not knowing who these people are. The issue of illegal immigration needs to stop. They've got the border to the point where nobody's coming in. Now it is time to stop what we're doing and realize that we have not handled this correctly and reset the order. And it has to be done. And there's going to be some pain from that. Construction projects are going to cost more. It's going to be true. It's what's going to happen. But that is the cost of doing business. You don't bring in quasi-slave labor to undercut your employees, your citizens. You don't do that. And that is exactly what we've done. So that's just another one of the many issues rolled into one raid in Gulf Shores and the impact that it has across the country. This is a mess, of course, but it is a mess that is being cleaned up by the Trump administration. And you can complain about them being too forceful, or you can complain about how they're talking about alligator, Alcatraz, and all these other things. The simple fact of the matter is, if you want to avoid all these issues, self-deport. If our friends on the left and their media want to continue to lobby on behalf of illegal immigrants, go right ahead and do so. The end result is more pain for them.